Page 18, moving along. At the top of the page, they're throwing some more musical symbols at you to learn and memorize forever and ever and ever. We've already had the notes, the quarter note, the half note, and the whole note. Hopefully you know what those are. Well, keep in mind that for every note, there is a corresponding rest. You see, the idea with a note is how long do you hold it down? Well, with the rest, you be quiet. So it's how long do you have to be quiet? And they show them up above. They didn't always look like this, the symbols, because music has evolved over the centuries. But this is what we're using now. The quarter rest, you see that squiggly line underneath it, the wiggly thingy. It kind of looks like a bird diving down. It helps to have an imagination in music. It really does. So when you see that little squiggly line, you rest for one count, if it's in 4/4 time. See, again, we don't know how many beats it gets until we have a time signature, because a quarter note doesn't always get a beat. Well, okay. We're using 4/4 time for now, so we're going to assume, okay, that's it. So, okay, a quarter note gets a beat, therefore a quarter rest gets a beat. And with a half rest, it's a box. But this is tricky, watch out, because the whole rest is also a box. That little line on the box, that's one of the lines in the staff. They're just representing that. Let's look at moving along in the music itself. Look at the last measure. Remember what a measure is? It's the distance between the measure lines. The measure lines are those vertical lines or bar lines. Look at the last measure, the first line. There's a half note and then that box. Well, if the box sits on the line, it's a half rest. It's the same as a half note, except you're quiet. We'll look straight down to the bottom staff there. Same line, just the bottom staff. You see a box and it's hanging below the line. That's a whole rest, same as a whole note or a whole measure. That's the only difference, is it on the line or under the line. So how do you remember which is which? Well, I do it by thinking about heavy. How heavy is it? A half rest, there's two halves to a whole. A half rest is lighter, and so it sits on the line. And the whole rest is bigger, it's heavier, so it sits under the line. And that's how I remember which is which. Otherwise, they look alike. So we get these rests and moving along. So it's like in the first measure there, you have the C, quarter rest, quarter note, and then a one beat rest, and then a D. So when you count them, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're quiet for one beat, and that's what we're doing here. The bottom staff in the first line, it's nothing but whole rest throughout. That means you're quiet in the left hand. See, they have to count for 4 beats in every measure. Even if there's no playing going on, you still have to account for the beats. Well, we do that with rests. That's why they put in a whole rest. Now, a whole rest gets double duty, and that is, it not only is the same as a whole note, to get the same number of counts as a whole note, but it can also represent a whole measure, regardless of how many counts are in it, because you're not always going to have 4 counts in a measure. You could have 3 or 5 or 6 or 9 or 12. The whole rest would represent the whole measure, or a whole. It's fun. You're just going to love it. So let's look moving along over. It's 2 lines long. We got treble and bass clef still. 4/4 time, so there's 4 counts in a measure, and we're counting quarter notes, or there's the same as 4 quarter notes in every measure. If you look at the notes across, you'll see quarter notes and half notes and the rests going along with them. In the second line, there's a whole note at the end, and we got rests, okay. In the first line, it looks like all the notes are in the upper staff, so the right hand's going to play it. In the second line, all the notes are in the lower staff, so the left hand's going to play it. Okay. You see, when you go through and you look at this and mentally review it, you're going to do it real quick. I can't talk real quick, so we have to go slow for me. So do the right hand first to see, make sure we got the notes and the rhythm and all that. In the first note of the piece, above the staff, there's a little 1. That's the finger number. They're telling you what finger number to use, because you can use any finger number.
So what they're selling is thumb. The thumb is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember that? Okay. Thumb. So that's middle C, remember, that note. So you put the thumb there. Then the hand goes here. And so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Like so. Second line. The fifth finger, see the 5 under the staff? That's the finger number. Fifth finger's a little finger, so it's here, so you're here. You're in C position down here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So you get the idea? Just make sure you can play each hand okay. And then we put the hands together. Well, in this case, it's only one hand at a time, so you have to worry about it. Just keep both hands on the keyboard. However, we need to be picky. I'm asking you to be picky. That helps when the music gets more difficult. Keep a high standard now. A beat lasts until the next beat starts. So beat 1 and then beat 2. Well, beat 1 ends when beat 2 starts. There's no empty space between them. You got a 1, 2. And 1 lasts all the time until 2 starts. So in the first measure, when I play it, the C, that's beat 1. The rest is on beat 2. So I lift up on beat 2. 1, 2. Because beat 1 ends when beat 2 starts. And don't lift up early. 1, 2. No, hold it down for the whole beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you're holding these notes out the full length they're supposed to be held. And I'm bad at this too sometimes. I don't hold them out the full length. I cut them short because there's a rest after. Big deal. Yes, it is a big deal. So we need to be accurate. I'm trusting you to go through your naming drill. Play it and say it. The name of the note. So you know the names of these notes in the music instantly. You don't need them to put the name of the note in the middle of the note like they're doing. You just know what the note is, the name of the note. 4. 2, 3, 4. Now, please don't copy me. Don't listen to me play it and say, oh, is that how it goes? Okay. And no, please try and read the music yourself and figure it out yourself. And then, once you can play it, then you can listen to other people play it and compare what you've done to them. But try and get it yourself first. So you learn it. When you're satisfied with it, no hesitations here anywhere, then play it with me. Come back to the play with me section. Let's play it together slowly and check that you have all the right notes and rhythms. So I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. Now let's try it together slowly. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Off.